Good news! Trump is having a pretty terrible day for a couple monumental reasons. Let's go through them all. First and foremost, Donald Trump is throwing a state fair in DC to celebrate America's 250th birthday, but this state fair has turned into the bane of his existence. Over the course of the last couple days, videos and photos of close to nobody in attendance at this fair have been going very viral all over the internet, and this has been making Trump mad. If you know anything about Trump, you know that he loves big crowds. So in response, he now has members of his administration attempting to gaslight the public into thinking that their crowds are massive when they maybe have 10 people, and TMZ caught a very funny clip of it. Check this out.
It's because there's tons of people here. It's a huge space, and it's just going to get more and more crowded as the week goes on. Not only do we have a lot of people.
So that's absolutely hilarious, and I have a smile on my face knowing that Trump has a frown on his. That's the first big loss, huge embarrassment for the Trump administration. Let's move on to the second. Today, the Supreme Court upheld the ruling from Donald Trump's sexual assault case by refusing to even hear his appeal. First and foremost, this is a massive win for victims of sexual violence everywhere. Close to 3 years ago, a jury ruled that he sexually abused E. Jean Carroll, and since then, he has been attempting to contest and appeal that ruling to every court he can. That stops now, because the Supreme Court has let the ruling stand. And of course, in response, he's furious, crashing out on Truth Social, throwing a tantrum like he does whenever things don't go his way. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that follow button to stay in the loop. I think that you're indicating that women are more emotional than men on average.
They are,
100%.
Okay.
Then tell me why men commit 92% of violent crimes. Tell me why they're more likely to self-unalive, commit suicide. So you think that testosterone is what makes men more emotional?
Absolutely.
Okay, well then you just conceded the debate.
You are oppressed more than me.
This chick is crazy. So Obama infiltrated Trump's FBI.
He's the one, not just Obama, but all the leftists, all the deep state.
My friend, you've lost
Nancy
your goddamn
Pelosi.
mind. What is one macroeconomic indicator that's better off today than it was a year and a half ago under Biden?
Closing the borders. I mean, you can say, are we dumb as a box of rocks? Like, are we the stupidest people? I've been told I'm internalized racism,
Do you want me to be honest?
misogyny. I would love for you to be honest.
I don't think that anybody in the circle is particularly intelligent. I'm Dean Withers. I'm a 21-year-old liberal. I do political debate for a living, and today I'm surrounded by 20 Trump supporters again. How many amendments are there in the Constitution?
I don't know exact off the top
You don't know how many articles?
Okay, can I?
How about this?
Okay,
how many
again,
continents are there?
You know a lot
how
of
many
information,
continents
and I'll
are there?
give you that.
How many continents are there?
Okay.
Ma'am, how many continents are there?
There's hundreds, but I can't
There's
remember.
7. Men are strong just like Trump because in the first 100 days, what did he do? He started writing executive orders day after day after day after day after day after day. Women would probably say, hey, ooh, let me take a break. That's why.
Jesus. If I could compulsorily puke on this table without getting you dirty, I probably would, because everything that you just said was legitimately disgusting.
I am completely against abortion in all cases, period. And that's the consistent pro-life stance.
Wow. What about when it's like the life of the mother on the line?
Okay, so that's nonsense.
That's insane. This is truly the most corrupt thing that a president has done in modern American history. And this will go down as one of the largest total failures of the US government, our checks and balances, and our systems of justice in your life. Let's talk about it. So 2 days ago, Donald Trump settled in his lawsuit against the IRS, which was basically a lawsuit against himself. That's fair to say, because he appointed the guy that runs the IRS, the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, and he appointed the guy that's running the DOJ, the body that litigated the lawsuit, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. And don't get it twisted, these guys are loyal servants to Trump. They will do whatever he wants them to. To prove it, here's a clip of Todd Blanche saying that he's literally in love with Trump.
I love working for President Trump. It's the greatest honor of a lifetime. If he chooses to nominate me, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say thank you very much. I love you, sir.
Because of this lawsuit settlement, today we have woken up in a new America with a new system of justice that applies to everybody but Trump, his companies, and his family members. Because a part of the settlement included Todd Blanche acting in his full authority as the head of the Department of Justice, signing a claims release form barring the federal government from ever investigating or auditing Donald Trump's taxes, his family members' taxes, or his company's taxes. This is literally a get-out-of-jail-free card for Trump. If he's ever done anything wrong on his taxes, hypothetically, if he's underpaid them by $50 billion, nothing can be done about it. Because as of today, the IRS is legally bound to never investigate his prior taxes again. That's all for today. Make sure to share this video with your friends and family because everybody needs to be made aware of the corruption happening in the White House today. Follow for more. I live in Colorado and I love it here. Our national parks, public lands, and forests are genuinely some of the most beautiful places in the country. But they're under attack by the Trump administration and nobody is talking about it. Last year, Republicans in Congress tried to force the sale of millions of acres of our public lands to private buyers to raise money to fund tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy. Today, Donald Trump is trying to cut over $1 billion in funding from our national park services, which would be a devastating blow to our parks. And this is on top of planning to fire 10% of the Forest Service employees. This would be a massive hit to my community, millions of others, and the public lands in of themselves. Thankfully, we have some federal legislators in our corner, like John Hickenlooper, who led the charge on preventing the Republicans from selling our public lands last year, or his CORE Act that would protect an additional 500,000 acres of public lands, or his Protect Our Parks Act that would actually rehire all of the national park employees fired by the Trump administration. And while these efforts are very beneficial, ultimately the fight against the Trump administration's attack on our public lands starts with us, raising awareness and ensuring that every American knows that they are under siege, which is why I made this video. The more you know. Everyone needs to see this photo. Today, on America's 250th birthday, thousands of white supremacists are marching our Capitol, chanting slurs, flying the Confederate flag, and calling for the reclamation of America by the white man. This is a photo taken by Reuters of the white supremacists traveling to the Capitol on the DC Metro. In the middle of the sea of white supremacists, we see a lone black woman commuting, surrounded by a sea of people who do not think she deserves rights. A sea of people who do not think she deserves to be in this country, and frankly, a sea of people who probably don't think she deserves to be alive. But unlike this black woman, these white supremacists are too cowardice to reveal their identities, wearing masks, glasses, and caps. And while this sea of cowards were traveling to our Capitol to protest for one of the most explicitly degenerate and dangerous ideologies that has existed in history, this lone black woman sat there, unmasked, to face it all. Why don't you tell us all why men are better at leading than women?
Men are better at leading because as a woman, I can tell you that we're emotionally manipulated very easy. We tend to be compassionate because we, as a woman, and getting pregnant, it's inherent in us.
What's the argument for that?
It's inherent in us.
Okay, just saying that it's inherent is like me saying that what is actually inherent of women is that they can't be easily manipulated. That doesn't give me any substance to underpin your position, and it doesn't push this dialogue forward. I would say that men are probably easier to emotionally manipulate than women, or else they wouldn't be culpable for 92% of violent crimes. We could emotionally manipulate a man by making him lose a game of Fortnite. The next thing we know, there's 3 holes in his walls. All right, same thing with self-unaliving statistics. Really bad thing, but it is true that men are significantly more likely to kill themselves than women on average. Same thing with drunk driving, gambling. And then when we look at women, they actually perform better in the fields that are less indicative of emotional outbursts, such as performing well in school. And I mean, this is all underpinned by biology. There was a study done by the American Medical Association that proved that if you're operated on by a female compared to a male in the operating room at a hospital, that you're less likely to die or to experience any negative operative outcomes. Why? Because women are biologically designed to deal with stress and pain better than men because they have thicker dendrites in their brain. So ultimately, the science and the empirical facts completely reject the conclusions that you formed.
Not at all. Men are more rational, and women.
You've been voted out by the majority, so please return to your seat.
Do you mind if we have a conversation, sir?
Leave.
Well, I'd like to talk to you about why you support Trump. So I have a question. Your sign says no.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the fact that in 2005, Donald Trump boasted about walking into the changing rooms of underage teenagers on the Howard Stern show?
You're cute.
I mean, can you give me a response?
You're an idiot.
For asking you a fair question, sir? How does that make me an idiot?
Yeah. Trump is the not the Democrats.
He doesn't believe me, so I'd like to play the clip.
You're an idiot.
Well, let's play the clip together. Is that okay?
Get that out of my face.
Oh, don't you hit me, old man.
Don't you get that
Don't
in my
get close
face
to me.
again.
Back off, big boy. Once again, your sign did say no I'm going to play this clip for you of Trump.
You want
I mean, let's take a listen.
AI maybe?
This came out in 2005 before AI existed.
Sure.
Why do you want to? You could see when the video was posted right there.
Don't press in like that, right there. Don't
touch my mic.
Don't press in.
Don't touch my mic.
Don't press in.
Don't touch my mic.
Back off.
Back off. Don't touch my mic, sir.
Leave some space. Back off.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to me?
Back off. Back off.
Okay,
Stay
I'll back up
away.
a foot, but let's have a good
Stay away.
conversation.
Don't stick that thing in my face.
Okay, so you don't want to talk.
No, not to you.
So I have a question. If you're not here to have civil discourse with people that disagree with you, then why are you here?
Not to talk to you.
Okay, so you want to talk to other people, but not me?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that something that we see in a lot of Trump supporters is maybe something that we see in you, right? Because your sign says no p***s, you've set a red line, you're telling us that you don't like people that p*** children,
Yeah,
but then the
absolutely.
moment I give you damning evidence that that's something that Donald Trump has done, such as a video clip of him admitting
you
to
know
on
children?
underage, he admitted to on underage teenagers in their dressing rooms, and you won't even hear the clip. You're calling it AI even though it came out in 2005.
Let's take it down a notch, people, and I'll tell you why, Dean. Take it down a notch. Although,
Back off.
down a notch.
I'll take it down a notch with the logic.
Okay,
I better. Really good news. Yesterday, I made a video about Donald Trump having a terrible day for a couple big reasons, and guess what? It's happened again. Today, Donald Trump has had one of the worst days yet of his presidency. And inversely, today happens to be one of the best days yet for the rule of law and the Constitution. When we win, he loses. Here's everything that you need to know. The Supreme Court has struck down Donald Trump's brazenly illegal attempt to take birthright citizenship away from the children born to undocumented immigrants in America. Trump was trying to rewrite the Constitution. He basically passed an executive order saying that the 14th Amendment of our Constitution is null and void. And ever since then, Donald Trump has been putting up quite the tyrannical fight to defend his action of an attempt to consolidate the power vested in the Constitution down to himself and his pen. But today, he lost. The Supreme Court has made it clear the Constitution protects the right to citizenship for the children born to undocumented immigrants in our country. And for all of the conservative snowflakes whining about this online, I'm sorry that the Constitution happened to you.